AI understands language like a human. There's a lot of approaches to text analytics and natural language processing and natural understanding that is ontology based, which is kind of like how we learned what words meant in a classroom, where you learn the vocab sheet, you learn the sentence, but a lot of the language we use isn't necessarily taught via definitions, it's taught via context. If we have too many new words or phrases, we lose the word's meaning. What we want to do is we want to focus on, like, what are people explaining it to other humans? One of the reasons why product reviews do so well in daylight is because people understand they're speaking to humans in the audience that may not have the same level of understanding. So they'll use different language and bridge it. Those start to form associations in daylight's background space. One of the things that we want to do is speak to people in the way that they understand, right? We want to echo back what people are saying back to them, and they go, oh, I feel heard, or yes, this applies to me. If you've ever received a prescription, you've gone to the pharmacist and they're like, all right, so these are the expected side effects, don't take it with this. And they may use some language that's not necessarily accessible to folks who like don't have a nursing or pharmaceutical background, or if you've never had the drug before. Why can I not take this medication with this substance? Or why do I have to take this thing with food? And they're like, I don't have time for your questions. And it is amazing how many ways people can spell their focused medication labels. Because they're being used synonymously or in conjunction with each other, the AI is like, oh, this is similar. Like, I'm getting it in context. It's kind of like when we listen to someone who has an accent and you're listening in the checkout, you're like, okay, I'm following. Ashe, you're Canadian. What did you say? Right? Over the course of time, with more immersion, the more confident our understanding of those unique words are.
So you're basically saying that the Luminoso AI understands if somebody is misspelling something, it'll pick up from context that is related to this or is the same.
Yep, misspellings, or if the competitor or comparable product is so synonymous that it's like Adderall and Ritalin, they help people do homework, they help people focus, their grades go up, they're more organized, they feel like they're in control of their behavior. One of the things that using this kind of listening platform allows us to do is bridge that understanding gap. How we talk to others in our community is different than how the communities talk to each other. And the more we listen, the better we can echo that back. One of the things our AI does really well is to adapt at the speed of culture. By learning from the data, we can echo back immediately. Spring of 2020, the panini interrupted everyone's lives. The current situation of the spring of 2020 resulted in a lot of people staying home. Do we know what specific event I'm talking about?
COVID-19.
Yeah, so depending on how it's used in that context, the AI caught it immediately. We were doing retail surveys in Australia, and the current situation was something that consumers were using in their retail feedback, recognizing that like going to work and working retail as the world was evolving, the AI caught it as unique to that month because they had not been using the current situation in their retail surveys before. People weren't calling it the pandemic yet because it wasn't pan yet.
The phrase that I was thinking of is actually the new normal. So
the new normal is another one, and that one's continuously emerging, and we see it in like voice of the employee surveys and feedback surveys. Language evolves as fast as culture is evolving. But as soon as culture changes and adapts, there needs to be something that captures it in that moment, because you need to be on top of it. You want to find out what's evolving, and you want to know what those evolution terms mean. Luminoso, it's an AI, and that can be a scary word for a lot of folks, but it should be accessible, right? If you're explaining to someone, if you're using a technology, it shouldn't feel magical. It shouldn't feel like a black box. When we understand that what Luminoso's AI does is learns like a human, all that implies is there's a baseline understanding of what words mean. Thanks for watching. If you want to see the rest of the video, click here. And to keep up to date with what we're up to, make sure you click subscribe or check out our website at luminoso.com or find us on LinkedIn. Thank you.